going to do a little arc to try to get under you. 100 feet back, making that dive. Too cool here.
That 38 is no matter what I do, he's today.
Race friends, it's time for the fastest 2 hours in motorsports. It's time for On Pit Road Racing, right here, right now, live from downtown Las Vegas on the flagship station, the WCOBM television network. Our race team will have all the latest news, updates, and interviews for the world of motorsports. So buckle up and pull those belts tight. The green flag is in the air, and it's time to go racing. And here are the hosts of On Pit Road Racing, Alan Michaels and the First Lady, Diane Fox.
There it is. There we go. There, the old machine is clicking today. Good afternoon, Diane Fox. Hey, I'm going to give you a little room, let you scoot in there. There you go. How you doing today?
Good. Just
Hot.
I know. Aren't we all getting tired of that weather forecast? It doesn't change.
Yep.
Hot.
Well, I remember a couple of months ago when we had the coldest winter we've had here in Las Vegas, and you kept saying, Alan, I will be so glad when the summer gets here. I promise I'll never complain about the weather again.
I really haven't complained. All I've really said was, man, it's hot.
It's hot.
It's hot.
Talk to Gene. He's going to be on the show in about 45 minutes. He's down in Daytona.
I don't hear that.
You don't want to hear it?
I don't hear
He's
that.
got 91 degrees and breezes blowing off, man.
But you know what? We did have some rain in parts of the valley yesterday.
Yeah.
But we didn't get none.
We
That's not fair.
You're upset that we didn't get any rain, and you're upset because NASCAR's on USA for 2 weeks in a row. You are just furious, aren't you?
Yes, and I'm not getting another streaming service, so yeah, I'll listen to it, and I can listen to it just as good as I can.
I want to tell you guys, what was the thing what was the one we bought into because they said it was Vidgo. If you guys got Vidgo streaming, think that you're going to get USA Network for NASCAR, it ain't happening, okay?
You're not.
Because we just wasted $42 on the thing, and then it happened.
You're not.
So
all right, well,
you feeling pretty good today?
Yeah.
All
Just I had my injection last Thursday. I have another one coming up in a week. Starting to feel pretty good.
Great show today, man. ARCA driver and going to be making his first appearance at the Pocono in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Christian Rose is going to be with us.
Yeah, that's exciting. I bet he's excited.
We had Brooke Store lined up, but you got a phone call early this morning. I guess Brooke's got the flu. She's not feeling.
Yeah, she's a little under the weather, so I told her to stay home, get well, and take care, and just call us, and we will reschedule her for another show.
Well, that's okay because we got Johnny Spilotro. Man, he sent in his exercise and workup videos, so we're going to be those. So we'll have Christian on. We got Johnny. Gene Woods is going to check in because he's got some news about the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame coming around January 27th of 2024. Man, about 2,000 people coming to the show this year.
Wow,
and he's got a
big one.
Big
I
show.
think it grows every year.
Big show.
Big show.
Big shows.
It grows every year. So.
Well, shall we get on with this?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. On Pit Road Racing comes from you from the WCOBM television studios. We are located at 450 Fremont Street, downtown Las Vegas in the Neonopolis complex. We are in the same complex as the Gene Woods Racing Experience, the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, and the WCOBM. So we're all just connected together. The track is just on the other side of us. And then on the far side of us in the building is where they'll find the Hall of Fame. And we'll talk more about that with Gene coming up. Website got with Tim Torres. He called me. It goes up this Friday. He said, man, he has got it done. And I guess the problem was when we got our domain name, it wasn't matching up with the system. So he had to completely rewrite the program. So it's all done. He says he's posting it up for us on this Friday on pitroadracing.com. Thanks to Tim Torres, our special IT and graphic guy, man. He's been working on this thing for weeks and weeks, and he didn't realize
I can't wait to see
it. It is just something really cool. Also, want to set a good shout out to Jerry Bernardo, man. Jerry Bernardo, man, he was the host of Moto World 2 on ESPN and ESPN 2. Jerry's helped us out with a lot of things with the Hot Show. Special shout out, and also got in contact Clara B. Lang, man, our friend from Sirius XM. She's coming on this program. We're working out the final deals for her, so we're looking real good with that, man.
That's going to be an awesome That's going to be an awesome show.
Our show partners for this program, the Gene Woods Racing Experience, 2 great locations for you folks, 450 Fremont Street in the heart of downtown Las Vegas, suite number 171. They're open 7 days a week from noon to midnight. No reservations is needed. And if you want to go fast, you can hit that outdoor track at 121 East Sunset Road. It's just about a block and a half off of Las Vegas Boulevard. Outdoor racing, man, they're open 7 days a week from noon until 10 p.m. And if you need more information, World Wide Web, gokartslasvegas.com. Our good friends over at Woods Family Sandwiches, hey, out there today, Lynn and Abby and little Harley there, man. Those guys make some great sandwiches. 2 great locations here in the Las Vegas and Boulder area. You need some more information on that, World Wide Web, wfsandwiches.com. The Hall of Fame, the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, man, this is what we're working this for, is to get the word out and get shoes on the feet. Diane and I will show you the shoes. We'll talk with Gene a little bit about it. If you want some more information about it, go to hotshoehof.com, the World Wide Web, HOF, Hot Shoe. hotshoehof.com. And finally, our home track, the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, LVMS.com, where we got NASCAR coming back to town, NHRA's coming back to town. We got Open Comp coming, the Christmas lights out there. It's just going to be something special. It really is. Diane, how about some racing weather? Whether they're going to Poconos, where they're going to Seattle this week, they're all over the country.
Oh, yeah, they're all over. So we're going to race with them. So, okay. This weekend, NASCAR will visit Long Pond in Pennsylvania and Pocono Mountains. That is cool there.
Yeah, it is.
All 3 of the NASCAR Top 3 series will be in action this weekend. Friday, 60% chance of rain. Saturday, mostly sunny skies, high of 75, sunny. Sunday, sunny skies with a high of 77. Boy, we need to go there.
Yeah, the Poconos?
Oh, we need to go there.
That's nice up there.
Yeah, well, in the NHR, they're going West Coast. They're going to the West Coast swing this weekend. The NHRA with a visit to Seattle this weekend.
Yeah.
Sunny skies with a light breeze all weekend. Seattle, high in the middle 70s. Well, we could go there. There's so many places.
It's cool there, yes.
Yeah, it's cool there. IndyCar goes short track racing this weekend as they return to Iowa Speedway. Weather looks good with partly sunny skies, highs in the lower to mid 80s. They do have a slight chance of rain on Saturday, but only at 10%. Let's see, F1, the series hits Hungary this weekend. 60% chance of rain on Friday and Sunday. Hot and humid, highs in the upper 80s. And that's a look at our racing weather this weekend, Alan.
Thank you, Diane. Brought to you by our good friends at the Woods Family Sandwiches. 2 great locations here in the Las Vegas Boulder area. World Wide Web, wfsandwiches.com. That's a look at the racing weather. And, of course, for Las Vegas this weekend, it ain't nothing but hot, okay? A little racing news here. It was a glorious Sunday at Goodwin. Saw F1 drivers and their cars in the past get assembled. Man, this was a big-time event. Sebastian Vettel was there, 4-time F1 champion. Sebastian Vettel drew the crowd everywhere and on the turns on Sunday. Man, he stepped back into his old Williams FW14B, which was the next car of Anton Senna's from his McLaren days, okay? Mick Schumacher, who was Michael's son out there, he got back into it, man. He was in on this adventure, man. He got back into his 2011 car. Mika Hakkinen, man, great F1 driver out there, man. He was back in action with this thing. He brought back his old cars. So it was sort of really neat to see how the F1 sort of went back to that old school, how NASCAR does back when they do the throwback type of thing. So they all had a good time. Meanwhile, the 22-car field of F1 drivers is off for round number 12. They're going to be, like Diane said, they're going to be hitting the Grand Prix of Hungary this weekend. Diane, you've got the top 3 in points right there.
Well, and this is like a repeat. In first place, we have Max Verstappen.
Yep. MV, buddy, MV.
And he's at 255 points, coming close. Next closest to him is Sergio Perez with 156. And third place is Fernando Alonso with 137.
Looking good out there. IndyCar, man, they're back in Iowa. It's the High V IndyCar race this weekend. Going to be getting it all kicked off on Friday on July 21st. Diane, you've got a little thing down there. They're going to be doing a big track walk. They've got concerts, all kinds of. Tell them everybody about it.
You can do the track walk. Fans can walk around the 7th, 8th mile Iowa Speedway oval on the actual racing surfaces between 6:30 and 7:15 p.m. Kind of like what we do. We have a track walk out here for the children's charity. So, yeah. They can visit Victory Lane. Fans can visit the Victory Lane area in the Iowa Speedway info and take pictures of the Hy-Vee IndyCar race this weekend with the podium. They connect with paddock partners. Check out the Firestone Tires, AMR safety team, the IndyCar technical inspection areas in the paddock, and learn more about what they do on, what these people do on race weekends.
Right.
And the Hy-Vee IndyCar race weekend will feature the only doubleheader race event on the 2023 NTT IndyCar Series.
Right.
Saturday Series race will feature the Hy-Vee Homefront 250 presented by Instacart, and Sunday's action will be highlighted by the Hy-Vee One Step 250 presented by Gatorade.
Yeah, man, great concerts are going to be there too, man. Carrie Underwood, Kenny Chesney's going to be there on Saturday, and then Zach Brown and Ed Sheeran will be performing live on Sunday. So that's going to be a really good event. Short track racing, man. I can't believe that the IndyCar still run there. And actually, you know what the name of the road is that leads to the Iowa Speedway?
No.
Rusty Wallace Drive.
Oh, wow.
Rusty Wallace,
know that.
yeah, Rusty was the guy that actually built that track years and years ago, put it all up. Of course, they were trying to get some NASCAR stuff there and ended up getting some ARCA racing, some Xfinity and different things like that. But it is actually on Rusty Wallace Drive is where the Iowa Speedway.
Well, see, there's another road I have to go find.
You got to go
I have
find
to go
Rusty.
find Arizona to the, what's that Eagle song?
Standing on the corner of Winslow,
Arizona. I gotta go stand on the corner of Winslow, Arizona, and then I'm gonna go to Iowa to ride down Rusty Wallace Speedway.
There you go.
Road, yeah.
Well, you know what's going to be the good thing coming around October when NASCAR comes back? They've got the big welcome back legends, man. This last year was Mark Martin.
Mm-hmm.
This year at the South Point Hotel will be the number 2 of that Miller Genuine Draft. Rusty Wallace will be there, and I have told that he is bringing the winning car. Midnight is coming to Las Vegas, so they're going to show Midnight. It was the car that he loved.
Yes.
He loved that car. He won so much with Midnight. In fact, other drivers, when they would come up to Rusty and ask him, what car did you bring? And if he said Midnight, they were ready just to pack it up if it was short track racing.
Wow, I did not hear that yet, but that is really cool. I've never met Rusty Wallace. I am a fan of his. I was a fan of his before he retired.
Right.
Now, last September, I got to meet, I got to meet Mark Martin for the first time. I'd never met Mark Martin. I got my picture taken with him, talked to him for a little bit. What a nice guy. So I am so excited, and especially because, you are probably one of the biggest Rusty Wallace fans. So,
he was my guy back in the day,
I'm
man.
really excited to be able to meet, and just shake his hand,
I think this is going to be a really good thing that Las Vegas Motor Speedway put together, bringing back the legends.
Yes.
Last year, Mark Martin, this year, Rusty. I don't know who they're going to have for next year. But anyhow, hey, we're rolling up quick, and our guest is standing by. I'm looking. I see Christian in the green room right there, so we're going to get with him and that. But before we do that, let's finish this up. Renamere Speedway, man, we saw some great racing over the last 50 years, and John Force remembers the days sitting on the hill with his daddy and the original owner of the Renamere Speedway, man. Well, it was the last time for the NHRA, and they would set the mountains on fire with the Dodge Brokers NHRA Mile High Nationals. Diane, the results, Top Fuel, take it away.
And we watched this race.
You did.
It was awesome. Top Fuel was Clay Milligan.
Clay Milligan picks
Clay
it.
Milligan.
I like Clay.
Funny car was Matt Hagan, of course.
Stuart Haas racing. He is just kicking. He is kicking tail and taking names,
He is.
man.
And Pro Stock was Troy Coghlan Jr.
Right.
He's a good friend of ours. And Pro Stock Motorcycle, which was Gage Herrera.
That's right. Pines for you. Top Fuel. Justin Ashley leads it up on the Top Fuel side. Matt Hagan and Funny Car. Dallas Glenn and Pro Stock. And at Pro Stock Motorcycles, it's Gage Herrera. Those two last ones, I don't know if anybody's going to catch Glenn or Herrera because they're just something else. NHRA is back on the West Coast run this week. Seattle, Washington, Fox 2, Fox 1, and Fox will have all the final rounds for you, okay? Ready to take a break? Because our first guest is standing by. How about we do that, all right?
Sounds like a good time to me.
On Pit Road Racing is live right here at the WCOBM 450 Fremont Street in the heart of downtown Las Vegas. Our special guest, Christian Rose, is joining us next. He's live from North Carolina, and we'll talk to him in 2 minutes, everybody.
Are you ready for the wildest ride on Fremont Street? The Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171 on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. Open 7 days a week, noon until midnight. Strap yourself in, pull your safety belts tight, and feel the power and the speed at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. Downtown Las Vegas, Fremont Street, 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171, right on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. What are you waiting for? Log on, get your tickets now. It's time to go racing at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. 450 Fremont Street, downtown Las Vegas.
The bright lights, the glitz, the glamour. It all means nothing without a shot. A chance to turn dreams into reality. To change your destiny. To make history. Nothing is given. Everything earned. It's more than a race. It's a shot at a championship.
Let's go get a championship,
The
baby!
NASCAR playoffs return to Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the South Point 400, October 13th through 15th.
Oh my goodness gracious, we are back live. Coming up about 16 minutes after the hour. Wednesday afternoon on Pit Road Racing is live at the WCOBM. Diane Fox, Alan Michael standing with you. And standing by in our green room, man. And I'm glad we got a good hookup with this today. Let's bring him right on in. There he is. But there he is. Diane, introduce him. Say hi to Kristen. Kristen, there he is, man. Go ahead, Diane. Tell us a little bit about this gentleman.
Well, I just
Trying to find the volume here, guys. Let me see here.
we can hear you.
We got you, buddy.
We got you loud and clear.
There we go. Got me?
There we go.
Awesome.
All right.
Good deal.
Well, he's a small town boy.
Yeah.
Just like, I grew up in a small town. He's from West Virginia. He grew up on a family farm. Same here. In Martinsville, West Virginia. And he maintains deep roots in there. Instead of doing his bio, let's just ask him some questions. And the reason is I have a big question for you, Kristen, because I was reading your bio, and I don't know if it's small town things or whatever, but we used to do a lot of sneaking in places, right? Watermelon stealing, pumpkin patches, sneaking in things.
Diane.
I want to know, how was it sneaking into the Daytona garage?
I knew that's where you were going with that. It was a thrill, I'll say that, and I can promise you it probably wasn't the only place as a kid growing up I snuck into, but learned a lot from that. We're a lot more mature now and older from that, but no, it was an adrenaline rush, and then it was one of the things that I got in there, and it was like, I think my video, or there's a video somewhere of us talking about it, where I walk in, you see the haulers, you see all the lights, and it's like, oh, like, this is so freaking cool, man. Like, this is cool. And the driver's meet was about to happen. So walking past all the drivers, going down through Daytona. And then I tested my luck a little too far. I decided to walk and try to go out on pit road. And the guy said, hey, let me see your pass. And I was like, flipped it over my fan zone. And I was like, okay, I'm good to go through. He's like, you need to go out there. I'm like, I went back to where I was. Made sure not to go back to where I got kicked out.
So did that, when you did that, you said you had a really big adrenaline rush. Could you then see yourself driving like you do today?
That really wasn't the goal of mine. Really, it was when I got into the garage, I met a guy named Richard, and he's I go down and see every year I go to Daytona. He's always there. He's been my biggest supporter from day one with it, and he got me in passes pretty much every year going forward. So when I went, I ended up talking to some crew guys, and I'm like, I played college baseball, so I wanted to find a way to become like a jack guy or something on one of these pit crews, because I know that's what most of these guys are, former athletes. And it turned into, why don't you try to drive it? So 5 years later, we are sitting here talking to you about how I'm driving race cars. So it's pretty crazy.
When you got started, first of all, what part of West Virginia were you from?
I'm from the Eastern Panhandle, Martinsburg, and half the state will tell you we're not West Virginia, but we take a lot of pride in it because we kick their tail in sports every year. So,
how far away from you are from Parkersburg, from the Parkersburg area?
I'd say probably about 2.5 hours, 2 to 3, somewhere in there. Not too far.
I was born and raised just right across the river in Athens, Ohio, which is about a 15-minute ride. We're Ohio University. And when I saw your bio that you were from West Virginia, I never knew. Was there a lot of racetracks, Christian, for you to grow up on and get racing there, man?
Not really. I mean, I grew up now in Parkersburg. Now it's clicking where you had. I know exactly where you're at near. Go past the speedway right there on 77, the dirt speedway right there. Yeah, we're probably about 4 hours from there, but not a lot in West Virginia. We have I-77 speedway. We have a Ona, I think it's a one oval asphalt track we have, and then we have Summit Point, which is we went out there and did like a test session kind of deal with meet and greet with a lot of local folks up there. In government and all that stuff, but really there's not a lot in West Virginia, and that's something I want to. I don't know what the history books say. I know Travis Braden's won an ARCA race, but my goal is I don't know if somebody from the state has won or not, and then some of these higher levels of NASCAR, but that's definitely the goal, if not to be the first one to do it.
Diane?
So where was your first race and how old were you?
Okay, so the first race was 2019 Red Eye, and I was actually 23 years old. I probably the third time I'd ever been in a race car period. I was in a super late model. So to throw me out there, I was with BJ McLeod at the time, and he told me, he's like, we're going to find out if this is something you want to do or not. Real quick, I'm going to throw you to the Wolves. And I had no idea what he meant by throwing me to the Wolves was putting me out there with 30 of the best super late model drivers in the country for my third time ever in a race car. So we didn't spin it out. We didn't look stupid out there, but we were well off the pace, and they handed it to me. So it was definitely a humbling experience. And looking back, I'm very fortunate for that opportunity. It's still probably top 5 moments of my career to say that was pretty cool to go down to Daytona, where it all started, to be in my first race.
Our special guest joining us from North Carolina right now, Christian Rose is there, ARCA racer. So let me get this right, man. You didn't do no go-karts. You didn't do no bandoleros. You didn't do no legends. BJ just took you and slapped you into a 600 horsepower super late model and turned you loose, right?
That's exactly it. I know it sounds way more crazy when you say it like that, you know.
That is.
It was I got the opportunity to come down. It was going to be something, get a helmet, a suit, and we make this like it's supposed to be like, hey, you got a helmet, a race suit, you can frame this, put it in your office one day. And we went out there, and they had Matt Tiff. Now, mind you, I'm a huge fan. I was a huge fan growing up. So I have every diecast Jeff Gordon ever had, and that's what I did, was go to Daytona to get his autographs. So when he brought Matt Tiff down, I'm like, this is wild. Like, Matt Tiff's about to go shake down the car I'm about to climb into. He's 4th on the points or whatever it was in the Xfinity series at that time. And then we went out there, and I think we were only about like 2/10, 10th and a half off of his time for the first time ever in a car. And they ripped the wind in that down. They're like, you've never driven a race car, nothing. I was like, no. Outside of go-karts at the beach that are not even close, no. So they're like, okay, well, maybe we try to not make this just a suit and helmet in the office thing. Let's see what we can do with it.
Wow, that's amazing.
So then moved from super late models. Now you're into the ARCA series. I want to make sure I got this right. And this upcoming weekend, are you making your first start in a NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race? Is this your first start in that, or have you been in a truck before, sir?
I've never been in a truck. Not this coming weekend, but the following weekend we will be at Richmond. So I'm poking on the ARCA car this weekend and then go to the truck side. But yeah, never been in a truck. Never, it's a dream come true. The guys of AM, when they gave me the call and told me that, they were the people to help us with some of the funding and stuff, were like, hey, we're going to do this. It was just a dream come true. I went right to my wife and was pretty emotional. I was like, I can't believe, we used to struggle to find any money to go late model race. So to be in such a competitive ride I'm in right now, and then a competitive truck like I'll be at Richmond, it's just a very surreal kind of deal to even think. It still hasn't hit that next week I'm going to get to go climb into one of NASCAR's top 3 series and go out there and try to make a name for myself. So the goal of it is that you'd eventually like to get to the Cup Series. That's where your goal is, sir? Absolutely. I tell everybody, and you can laugh or they can laugh or whoever can laugh. It is what it is. But, I'm a competitor. I played sports my entire life. If you're not in this deal to go to the top and be the best at, what you do, I think you're doing it for the wrong reason. So my goal is to be a Cup Series champion. And I'm sure a lot of people are like, yeah, we'll see. I could be wrong, but, hopefully 10 years, 15 years from now, we're having a different story. We're talking about this interview, and that's kind of the goal I want to, chase. And if it's not, then I can pat myself on the back and say, hey, we gave it the best damn shot we could. Yeah. You can't ask for anything more than that. Yeah. Hardest track you've ever raced on? It's just been one, man. When you got off the track, you took the helmet off and took a slug of water, man, and you go, man, that was a bad monster right there. I'm very bad at short track racing. I'll be the first one to tell you. When we get places like Iowa this week, places that got speed with it, like I feel very comfortable where I can move around the different grooves and stuff and find some time. But when it comes to one groove, you got to put the bumper to somebody. I just am not the best at it. It's definitely something I got to be better at. But the two tracks that come to mind was Elko this year. I was in the way. There's no other way to put it. Like my crew chief still gives me some, what for it. And we joke around about it, but it's like, yeah, he said, I see what you meant. Cause we went to Berlin. We weren't terrible. He said, I thought you said you sucked at short track racing. And I was like, I do, trust me. And then we went to Elko. He's like, yeah, you suck at short track racing. I was like, okay. So Elko is probably that one. And then Milwaukee, the most physically endurance racetrack I've gone to. And I felt a lot better listening to Justin Allgaier this weekend talk about New Hampshire and how it's one of the most physical races he runs all year. Milwaukee's the same way. It's very flat, no banking. And that's the first place I took my helmet off and only place I've taken my helmet off and just sat there trying to catch my breath for a couple of minutes before I climbed out of the car.
Now we're talking about the Milwaukee Mile, correct?
Correct. Yeah, the Milwaukee Mile.
Right. Okay.
No banking. It'll wear you out. I mean, we were tight. I was up on a wheel, and when you're sawing on it for 150 laps around that place, and no banking to catch you, it's your main.
Now, what would be your dream track to race at?
Right now, I've really crossed a lot of those buckets. I got to run Daytona, Talladega, all those places, but probably some place on the circuit I look forward to, Darlington. Going up around going to Myrtle Beach and stuff, that'd be a really special place to run. Dover was a home race for me. I've been very fortunate, and I believe in the big man upstairs. And he's allowed me to run a lot of races I grew up going to as a kid. So I'd say Darlington, and then maybe some of these road courses that I haven't got to. Circuit of Americas would be pretty cool, and the street course. I thought that was I was skeptical of it going into it, but anything where we could run in front of a new market like that, I think would be really cool.
So I'm going to say that now we are not fans of all the street racing because we came old school. I mean, I want to see things get up and back, and I think this is going to happen. I want to see North Wilkesboro get open back up again. I want to see Rockingham get open back up again. I mean, I look at it like this, Christian. I mean, I grew up the old school, and they had two good road courses, Watkins Glen and Sonoma. And I just think that NASCAR is trying to play the game of Formula One IndyCar racing, and that's not what NASCAR is. NASCAR, whether it is the top three or super late models going into the ARCA series, whatever, it's four fenders on the wheel. Everybody's playing good with 3 to go. All bets are off. And it, like Rusty Wallace said, you can either lead, follow, or get the out of my way because I'm coming through with the last 3. And I just think that they're trying to grab. I think it was a good stunt that they pulled there in Chicago. I think it was a marketing campaign. I just want to see NASCAR get back to what NASCAR was. And that's 4 fenders, beating and banging. Let's go at it and let it fly, man. That's it. But ARCA racing, man. So you're getting a good, let me ask you this. Is the beating and banging in ARCA a little bit more or less than what you went through in super late model?
It's less. Super late model, like it's you go out there and you run against guys like Bubba Pollard and stuff like that, and you're in the way or something. They're not going to hesitate to move you. I mean, Hickory, you can go out there on a weekly show and you can watch it. Any of these short tracks you go to on the East Coast, all over the country, these are guys and men and women that come out there and they spend their hard-earned dollars to go race. And if you're in their way or you're going to rough them up, you're going to get roughed right back up. So you'll learn a lesson real quick. ARCA, a little bit of a different story. Great platform. It's just one of those deals that you have a lot of racetracks. You can get out of the way or try to stay out of the way, and you still have the moments where you'll rough each other up at times. But there's nothing like super late racing or pro late racing in the Southeast from some of these guys.
Have you been to Las Vegas? Have you had a shot at our bull ring out here yet?
That was my first ARCA race I ever ran. Was actually out there 2021.
Really? Wow. So what did you think? What did you think of the
bull ring? I loved it. I would like to get another shot at it, to be honest. It's a place that's got speed. You got to be a good short track racer to get around it. I don't know how we ran as well as we did. In our debut out there, we were on pace, I think, to run 7th out there in a debut, and got turned around by a car that was a couple laps down. But battled back to finish 10th, and went on. We stayed out there and went to Roseville after that, and we had a really strong run at Roseville too. So But the bull ring is, it was one of the wildest things I can tell you. Any place I've gone to is you're going down the backstretch of that place and you see F-16s and all that stuff flying. It's just wild to know you're going down the backstretch, but there's something going that much faster in the air above you. So,
Yeah, I mean, those things, and especially if you're out here when red flag's going on, because not only you got our planes, but you got all the planes taken off from all the other countries and everything else. I mean, it's just something else. Currently, right now, you're standing, did I read this right? Currently 4th in points right now in the ARCA series. Am I right?
Yes, we're sitting 4th right now, I believe. Yep.
All right. So you got a big weekend coming up, man. I mean, we know where you're going to, on that. So what's up next for you? To stay with ARCA, or are you looking to jump next level?
Yeah, I mean, we're talking a lot of different plans. I don't really know what route we'll end up going, but I'm fairly confident right now where we're heading, that we're going to be in a full-time ride doing something next year. With AM Racing, I'm not very sure what it will be, but we're definitely working in that direction. I think the goal is, obviously, I'm 28 years old, and we want to do the best we can of narrowing the learning curve, but also making the right jumps at the right time too. So a lot of it will dictate, I guess, how we go out here and run at Richmond and places like that. I think you'll see us a couple more times in the truck this year. We're still working to put some stuff together on that side and announce all that. But I think the goal would be, whatever it is to go compete. We're getting there in the ARCA series. Every race we've gotten to run with AM, we've gotten better, and they've been phenomenal about giving me the right people and the right resources around me. So if we can narrow that learning curve to where we're fighting, top 5 and wins, and whatever it is, that as long as we make that jump, I don't want to do just to go run 20th. I don't care what series it is, to say we're a Cup driver or Xfinity driver, whatever it might be. I want to be competitive, so we'll be realistic with ourselves, but also try to make the jumps, like I said, at the right time.
He's got it going on.
He does, and you seem like you're a very patient person.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I mean, I feel like you got to be, and like I said, I believe in Jesus Christ and our Lord and Savior, all that stuff, and He's got a plan. So my mom, we had a really good buddy that tried to help us out with sponsored dollars at first, and he's like, "Look, man, there's a plan," and he's a pastor too. He's like, "If we try to get in the plan," he said, "we'll screw it up." He said, "We got to let Him have it." So that's right. As true as it can be. I fully believe that.
Well.
Yeah, you seem like you've got your head on, and you have the passion for it, and the patience.
I gotta get my TV lined up and see you and watch you run this weekend, man. I'm gonna find me enough. I got so upset. We bought this Vidco thing, the streaming, thinking that we were gonna get to see NASCAR on USA, and all of a sudden they said no NASCAR, and that's another thing. Don't even want to get me started on that. I want to see a good TV deal come out for all series of the races, because they definitely needed that. I got about a minute left with Mr. Rose. I'm giving you the final 60 seconds here, sir. A shout out to where people can find you social media, talk about your team, and give a shout out to your sponsors, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, it's Christian Rose Racing on Instagram. I think C Rose Racing on Twitter, and then Christian Rose Racing on Facebook, and then the same for the website. And then obviously I can't do any of this without our sponsors. So West Virginia Tourism, I tell everybody, like, everybody in the sport has some sort of funding somewhere, somehow, whether it's from family or going out to find dollars. To be able to represent your state and where you're from, it's an absolute dream come true. West Virginia has so much to offer, and it's just a blessing to be able to go out there and share that story all across the country. Take it places like Vegas for the bull ring and all that stuff. Like, it's very cool to do that. So Secure Testing Services with Steve and Sarah Pearson, they've been phenomenal. They become more friends than they have partners. Just if anybody out there listening to this needs some sort of drug testing, you need on-site testing, that's what you do. They come to your place and they ship it off to the lab. Give them a look. The Disability Opportunity Fund, Mountaineer Pub and Rub, Black Draft Distillery, Warwood Tool, and everybody that allows us to go do this. And just very thankful. And AM Racing for trusting and believing in me and giving me the right resources to go chase a dream.
I want to say one thing, man. I really like your fire suit with that West Virginia logo on it, man. That's support, man. That's bringing hometown in, everybody. And I like it. You're from a small town, farming, grassroots racing. That's what we love, man. I love NASCAR, the big series, love all the big series. But if it wasn't for you guys and the guys that are coming up through the Bandoleros, through the Legend Cars, through the Super Lates, and into the ARCA series, I mean, you guys are the grassroots racers. You guys are out in the garage. You don't have the big budgets. You don't have 50 guys working on your car. You're out there busting your knuckles. You're bleeding, spending all kinds of time. And that's what racing's all about, Christian. And I want to thank you very much for your time today, sir.
I want to thank you guys for allowing us to have an outlet to come talk about it. You guys do an amazing show with this whole deal, and anytime we can come on and share a story, we appreciate it. So from a fellow West Virginian to another, thank you, and hopefully we can come back on at some point.
You're welcome on the show anytime, Christian. Anytime you want to come on and talk, just send us a text or an email.
Yep, Chris has got our info, and man, we'll be looking for you.
Yeah.
I have a good feeling, Diane, come April next year on Friday night, underneath the lights
That would be cool.
at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, we're going to see this young man in a NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, and I'd love to see him under the lights.
And we love the trucks under the lights here, that's for sure.
That's it.
I can tell you, I will do my best to stay off the blackjack tables and focus on that truck.
My friend, thank you so much, man. Good luck to you in the rest of your season, man. Keep that pedal to the metal. And like Rusty says, man, patience breaks, and more patience will get you through. Either lead, follow, or get the heck out of the way. Our special guest from ARCA Racing, Mr. Christian Rose. Thank you, buddy. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. You got it. We're back with more. Gene Woods is standing by right after this, everybody.
Are you ready for the wildest ride on Fremont Street? The Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171 on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. Open 7 days a week, noon until midnight. Strap yourself in, pull your safety belts tight, and feel the power and the speed at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, downtown Las Vegas, Fremont Street, 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171, right on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. What are you waiting for? Log on, get your tickets now. It's time to go racing at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, 450 Fremont Street, downtown Las Vegas.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Welcome to my world. Handicapped man down at a charity feed. Great spread this morning. God, it was horrible. But it made what I needed to happen. Then I had these people that stopped and said, "Hey, you want some shoes?" I said, "Yeah, I was going to need to get some anyway. So might as well." And if it really comes to fruition, help them buy more shoes so that we can help more people. Well, I'm not but you know what I mean. Hell, might as well. There's nothing wrong with helping someone. You know, it makes for good karma or good energy, whatever it takes. Hell, I ought to do a product placement for Coca-Cola, too.
You're pushing it, Turtle, but have a good day. Thanks, mate. I appreciate you coming on camera.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man.
All right, talk to you later.
Later, dude.
Coming back at you, man. We're at 38 minutes past the hour here. Wednesday afternoon on Pit Road Racing is live at the WCOBM, 450 Fremont Street in the heart of downtown Las Vegas, just on the other side of the Gene Woods Racing Experience, and on the far side of the building from the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame. And standing by with us is the three-time national champion from Speedway Motorcycle. He is also the founder of the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, Mr. Gene Woods. Good afternoon from Daytona Beach, my friend.
How you guys doing? Hey, we're just sitting in Portofino in Daytona having dinner. I tried to go outside, but there was no signal out there.
Oh, it's okay.
Coming up, Gene, we're about...
What are you eating?
Well, okay, there you go.
What are you eating?
Can you hear me? Oh,
Yeah,
I'm eating ziti with meatballs and a salad.
Oh, okay. That sounds good.
We had Millie's the other night. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, don't tell me you had a grouper.
No, I have the steak. I go for the steak.
Okay.
She had the
Oh,
steak.
their grouper is to die for.
Coming up about 4 or 5 months away, Gene, January 27th of 2024, the fourth annual, the 4.0 of Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, and we are expecting a record crowd this year, my friend.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really good show for sure. The word's starting to get out, even though we're months away. January 27th is coming fast, and getting ready for the Mecum auction. We're the day the Mecum auction ends. We have our show and our event, and created a lot of interest. There's a lot of hype going around on the internet again, and that usually is a telltale sign of what our crowd's going to be like at the event.
It certainly is the fourth annual. Gene, I'm going to ask you a question for our listeners. I know Diane knows. How did this all get formed? How did the Hot Shoe, so people that don't know about it or learning about the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, how did you come up with the idea?
It was just a spur of the moment thing. Yep. So we just got our food.
That's okay.
But anyway, we were just talking about stuff, and I just thought it'd be cool to kind of have a couple of hot shoes on the wall. Had my brothers, and I talked to Mike Freya, and we came up with the name of the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame. So Mike Freya was the first one to donate his. Jim Fishback donated his. David Aldana donated his. And then once it got on the internet, we put a few things out. It just snowballed and took off. At that point, we decided it was time to have an event to get everybody together.
And from that point on, it was broken up. And Diane, go ahead and grab them, and she's going to hold them up to the camera because this is the big thing to that. I'm going to pop them up. She's got one, and I've got one. Folks, that you can see this on the camera. Gene purchased about 4,000 or 5,000 pairs of these. The Hot Shoe Hall of Fame did. These are a good athletic tennis shoe. And what we've all been doing is we have been going to local missions, churches, different events. Gene and the whole crew were up at Sacramento about a month and a half ago for the big Sacramento Mile Race. There's another big event coming up that we're going to be going to. And Gene, these shoes right here, they're just something else. This was just such a great idea. And folks, you can log on to the World Wide Web at hotshoehof.com. Hotshoehof.com. You're going to scroll down and you're going to see the tennis shoe right here. And if you would like to make a donation, whether it's $1, whether it's 5, 10, 20, 100, whatever your heart desires, you can make it. 100% of the money goes to purchase these shoes that we go to churches, missions, and everything that we spoke about to put shoes, souls, and love on people's feet. And Gene's done a real good job with this. And I mean, these things are just cooking off the market, Gene. I see there's another big event coming up in California in November. I think we'll be heading out to there to put some shoes on people's feet.
Definitely. We're great for lifetime.
Oh, there we go. There it is, Diane. He's got the food and everything else.
Oh, man.
Nice big flat of food and everything else. There we go.
Oh, I'm hungry.
He's hungry now.
I'm hungry now.
I've actually made the pitch.
So am I.
Well, we'll let you go. I was going to say
It's got to be hot if it's spaghetti. So yeah.
I was going to say this. We keep making the pitch to Daylin, the official sandwich shop, and one day I'm hoping that she'll come by with a roast beef wrap and a chicken salad sandwich. But we just keep praying. Enjoy the dinner, my friend. Hot Shoe Hall of Fame.
When we get down here, this is a pretty good Italian place, so you're gonna like it.
He knows I like my Italian food.
Yeah, me and
you know me and food.
Yeah. That's it. Well, enjoy the rest of the time down there, my friend. We'll see you in a week or so. And thanks for joining on the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame coming up January 27th, 2024, Las Vegas, Nevada. HotShoeHof.com, the official website. Log on, and we'll see them all here, right?
Great job, guys. Thank you. Look forward to seeing everybody at the show.
You got it. Gene Woods, everybody.
Enjoy your food.
Enjoy that food, buddy. Have a good one. There he goes. He's up out of there. Hey, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, got a little thing from Johnny Spilatro, a little exercise video. We'll do it right after this on Pit Road Racing Live at the WCOBM, everybody.
Come on! What the
Gary B here up in Sacramento, Union Gospel Mission, giving out some shoes to the homeless here. A lot of smiling faces. We got one deal. We give you a pair of shoes. You got to give us a smirk and a photo. And this is the mission of the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, which is a non-profit organization based out of Las Vegas, started by Gene Woods. We're trying to do good things and fill little holes in people's lives the best we can. And today we're up in Sacramento, just doing the best we can. Thanks for supporting us.
Yeah, looking good. And let me turn this on. There we go. Yeah, we're turning this on. Back at you. Thanks to Gene. Thank Christian Rose. I can't wait. That kid's going to be out here.
Yeah.
He's going to be here. I can see this.
Yeah, we love the trucks on truck night. We love to go watch the lights. So.
Let's catch everybody up. NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series was back to the oval racing, and it was the first of the ATV, the Tricky Triangle. That's right, Long Pond, Pennsylvania. Corey Helma has gone 2 for 2 in the last 2 races. He locked it up. Diane, you've got the top 10 right there.
Yeah, the current driver standings points: Corey Heim, Zane Smith, Christian Eckes, Grant Enfinger, Carson Hostevar, Ben Rhodes, Ty Majeski, Nicholas Sanchez, Matt DiBenedetto, and Matt Crafton.
Looking good out there. Current playoff points and standings, Diane.
Corey Heim, Zane Smith, Christian Eckes, Grant Enfinger, Carson Hostevar, Ben Rhodes, Ty Majeski, Nicholas Sanchez, Matt DiBenedetto, Matt Crafton,
Stuart Friesen, Tanner Gray, and Chase Furley, along with Tyler Acom, 76 back. Man, those are the cut lines with Stuart, Tanner, Chase, and Tyler Acom. Man, they're all 1 point to 76 back. And, of course, you can catch the race this weekend on Fox Sports 1, MRN, and Sirius XM will have it. John Hunter Nemechek completed his first back-to-back victory effort of the year. Man, he was picked up a big win this past weekend, man, and he is looking really, really good. Top on the points, too. It was John Hunter Nemechek, Chandler Smith, Austin Hill, Daniel Hemrick, and Sammy Smith, your top 5. Taking it from Loudon, Diane.
Yes, and your Xfinity Championship standings right now are John Hunter Nemechek, Austin Hill, Cole Custer, Justin Allgaier, Chandler Smith, Sammy Smith, Jeb Burton, Josh Berry, Daniel Heinrich, Sheldon Creed, Sam Mayer, and Riley Herbst.
Playoff points for you is John Hunter Nemechek, Austin Hill, Justin Allgaier, Chandler Smith, Sammy Smith, Jeb Burton, Josh Berry, Daniel Hemmick, Sheldon Creed, Sam Meyer, and Riley Herbst round out the top 12. Man, you can catch the race coming up this weekend from Pocono, USA, MRN, and Sirius XM Radio. Well, you know, Martin Truex Jr. being a New Hampshire, New England guy out there, man, he's been racing a while, and he was been looking for that lobster, Diane. Well, he finally picked one up. Truex took 254 at the 301 laps in his number 19 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota, man. Top 10 for you. Diane's got the top 5. Finishing up, starting with Truex.
Top 5 is Martin Truex Jr., Joey Logano, Kyle Larson, Kevin Harvick, and Brad Keselowski. The current driver standings are Martin Truex Jr., William Byron, Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, Ross Chastain, Christopher Bell, Ryan Blaney, Joey Logano, Tyler Reddick, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Brad Keselowski, Chris Buescher, Bubba Wallace, and Michael McDowell.
Okay, and on the cutoffs, here we go through current playoff standings. Top 16 are looking like this. Martin Truex Jr., William Byron, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, Ross Chastain, Christopher Bell, Ryan Blaney, Joey Logano, Tyler Reddick, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Kevin Harvick. Now we start from 15th up. Kevin Harvick, plus 130. Brad K. These are all points now. Everybody before has got a win, so they're in. So it's Harvick, Brad K., Chris Buescher, Bubba Wallace, and Michael McDowell still in the top 16, Diane. No wins, but they're in on points. Okay? And right here below, Suarez. Go ahead.
Yeah, Daniel Suarez, A.J. Allmendinger, Ty Gibbs, and Alex Bowman are all below the cutoff line.
They're below the cutoff line. NASCAR Series for a Cup Series comes back to Pocono this weekend. USA, MRN, and Sirius XM Radio for you. Hey, got a new little segment here. I want to get a clause in before we get out of here. Our good friend Johnny Spilatro is out there with us. Johnny has finished up his college and his bachelor's and master's degree in workouts and physical training and everything else. So we asked Johnny if he'd put together a couple of pieces for it. Johnny Spilatro right here on Pit Road Racing, everybody.
The metabolic responses. Has been done through driver surveys, research practices, In terms of a physiological response, it has been stated before by researchers Schwemmel et al. That race car drivers typically have the metabolic characteristics of basketball, soccer, long distance running, triathlons, boxing, mixed martial arts, all of that. So that's why a lot of my training practices typically fall under that strength and power phase with a little bit of emphasis of mixed martial arts. That I will get to in another episode. But that said, that's typically how we would start with the needs analysis of both the driver and the sport themselves. So, hope you guys like this little bit of information. Check back in the later weeks where we'll be talking about the periodization, sets and rep schemes for stock car driver athletes, as well as exercise techniques and exercise selection for these types of athletes, as well as other strength and conditioning nuggets. The goal of this is to kind of bridge the gap between sports science and auto racing. So, if you like what you heard, want to know more, or want to correct me on a few things, I'm definitely open to any tips or suggestions that you may have. My Instagram handles at Johnny Spilatro, as well as at J_strength_conditioning. Those are the two main social media handles that I have. So feel free to reach out to me at those anytime. Super special shout out to On Pit Road Racing for allowing me to do this segment for them. And there's also a lot of research that kind of happens behind the scenes of it. That includes Dr. Schwemmel, Dr. David Ferguson, who wrote a very interesting piece on called The Science of Motorsports. I'm actually fixing to get a copy of that at myself.
I think it's going to be something there.
Oh yeah, very interesting.
Yeah, we got more with Johnny coming out throughout the weeks. Zip my headphones and my everything else. On Pit Road Racing down the stretch run, about 8 minutes till the top of the hour. Alan and Diane with us. Saw a good article this weekend with Dale Earnhardt. Actually, Junior. Junior, they're pushing Junior to go cup racing. You know that, right? They want him that. And of course, Junior's got all kinds of things that he's got to take care of because he's losing at least one driver, okay?
Yes.
Possibly two. Yes. But at last note, I mean, this is what Junior, and I remember hearing Dale say this, basically to get a charter, last rounds went for $30 million. That's what you've got to put up to get yourself a charter, which means that you're guaranteed a spot in the field if you have a charter, okay? I don't know, man. They're looking at this. I just don't know. Junior said that I heard an interview with him one time, Diane, that he said, I would never spend $30 million to go cup racing. If that's $30 million to get a charter.
Right.
Okay, that's to get the charter. Now, I don't know how big Junior's shop is that he's got in North Carolina that handles all of his Xfinity teams. Does he have enough room to put a cup team in there too? Will he have to add on? I don't know. It's just going to be something. It's going to be something crazy to watch over the next couple of weeks as silly season and things get going. I mean, right now NASCAR on the average is only putting 37 cars in the field, which right now they have a holding at 40 cars. It used to be 43. They backed it down to 40, and they're basically averaging only about 36 to 37 cars. I think 5 times this year that they have actually put a full field of 40 cars in the track. So. I don't know your opinion. Should Earnhardt take the gamble?
I think he's got a lot on his plate right now. I mean, he's got 2 little girls. He's got his podcast. He's got his broadcasting and all that stuff. I don't know. If I was him, I think I would be, I'd be satisfied.
I don't think he's going to have any problem raising any money. I don't think that. I think if Dale Jr. calls a couple of the Fortune 500 companies and says, I'm starting a cup team,
right,
and I need some financial backing, I don't think it'll be a problem. Right. It's is Dale ready to put up the money that it's going to take to get into this. Okay, so you're talking about another hall or another
Yeah,
part of the shop,
yeah.
all this that goes on and everything else.
Yeah, there's
It's just
a lot to it.
Hey, a couple of things here before we get to Tony Stewart. I know you got some notes and news because Tony Stewart just had his first round of his SRX, and we'll get to that. But this came out. 3Up Racing is proud to announce that they have signed NASCAR Craftsman Truck and Xfinity driver Ryan Vargas, 22.
Yes, I did
Good friend
see that.
of Ryan is going to be the race director and team development person. In addition, Vargas will also serve as the team's reserve driver on the NASCAR Cup side. So it's
we'll
really,
have to have him on so we can ask him what let's see, what did you say he was?
he's with the
The
3M
director of team and
director of team and driver
and
development.
driver development. I have to ask him what that, what that entails.
I've reached out to Ryan. I know he's got a busy schedule out there. Real quickly, too, Craftsman Truck Series driver Ty Majeski added another accomplishment to his storied super late model resume on Tuesday night. Majeski picked up the opportunity to win the ARCA Menards East Series competitor the Slinger Nationals. Okay, Slinger Speedway. So congratulations to him. And also Elliott Sadler. I noticed this too in the racing in Atlanta. Drivers jumping that start. Well, Elliott Sadler says this week, Diane, it ain't going to happen because he's got the red gun on him.
Yeah.
So there could be some fines coming up. So we'll have to watch for that. You've got some news about Tony Stewart and his SRX brand there, man. Back.
Yeah, the SRX round 1. Stafford is in the books.
It's in there. In
the books.
It's Thunder. It's called the Thunder is Back.
Thunder is back.
Right.
Okay, Thunder is back. Denny Hamlin, Ryan Newman, Clint Boyer, Paul Tracy, Haley Deegan, Marco Andretti, Ken Schrader, Bobby Labonte, Brad Keselowski, Tony Kanaan, Tony Stewart, and Kevin Harvick.
Great variety of drivers
Yeah.
right there. You got some IndyCar guys in there. You got some
Yeah.
super late models, a couple of NASCAR guys that are retired. Bobby Labonte in there. Ryan Newman, Lions been running some dirt stuff. Him and Kenny Wallace.
And look at Haley Deegan.
Haley
The
Deegan's
only
in.
female in
Yep,
there.
Haley Deegan's in on that lineup too.
Wow.
And in fact, Diane, you've got the rest of the
That's the
series.
schedule, yeah. ESPN's going to carry all these races.
Yep.
Thunder Road Speedway, July 20th. The Motor Mile Speedway, July 27th. Berlin Raceway, August 3rd. Eldora Speedway, August 10th. And Lucas Oil Speedway, August 17th.
Going to be a great day, man. That's some big stuff. Next week we'll have all the results because they had the $1 million run at the Eldora, man. Tony Stewart put $1 million money up for that dirt racing up there, and also Stewart's also hanking for a cup race because they're talking about taking the dirt off of Bristol, not running Bristol on the dirt, going back to the straight asphalt. And Stewart says bring all 3 series to Eldora, and I can see that happening. I really.
Weren't you? You asked me something the other day or the other night, and you were. I don't know if you were reading something. I haven't read about it yet, but the age in NASCAR.
Tony Stewart, Denny Hamlin, and a couple of other drivers want NASCAR to start taking a look at maybe these kids coming up are too young to get into the Cup Series. I mean, you got Ty Gibbs. He's a young kid out there. Noah's not young anymore. But, I mean, you got to look at the veterans. I don't know the whole point of this, whether this is going to be that. But, I mean, they're developing. And, I mean, right now, if NASCAR says that you can get in a Cup car at 18 years of age, then so be it. But a few of the older drivers are not happy about this because they think some of these younger kids need some more experience, more seat time before they jump into the prime level.
And you know what? I have to probably agree with him. And speaking of that, when we were talking to Christian just a little bit ago, I mean, he started later in life. I mean, in his 20s. And look how much patience that kid has.
I can't believe that the guy started off in the
yeah.
super late model division and no Bandoleros, no legend cars, no nothing like that. I mean, he just went. BJ McLeod just threw him in a 600 horsepower car and said, "Go at it."
But look how much. I mean, I could see the patience in him, and you know, we all know we were all 15, 16, 17 years old. We had no patience back then.
Yep.
So I can kind of understand, you know, that the older drivers thinking that maybe, these kids are too young to be getting in a vehicle like that.
Real quickly, Diane, before we get out of here, of course, Martin Truex Jr. won last week. He's got a couple of wins this year. Speculation, this could be the last year of Truex with Joe Gibbs Racing. In fact, the questions came out after he says Joe apparently went up to him and said, "Hey, you're having fun. You're having a great year. You're winning. Why wouldn't you come back?" And, of course, Truex says, he said he was out talking with Claire B. Lang. He said Claire, so I'm going to assume that's Claire B. Lang. He said he's not sure what he's going to do. He might just give it up. Another championship. He's almost racing almost 20, 25 years.
I mean, he's had a good run.
I don't think he's hurt for any money. I don't think he's hurt for any money or anything like that. So maybe it's down to the time. He's got his health. He's got his conditioning. Yep. Maybe to look into car ownership. So no matter what Martin decides to do, whether he decides to stay or he decides to go,
he'll have a lot of support and a lot of people behind him on his decision.
That's it. Well, it's been fun. I think it's about time for us to run. Want to say hi to our good friend Brooke Storr. Brooke was to be on the show. She caught a flu. Called Diane early this morning, so we're going to rebook her for that. Next week, 2 great guests coming on. We're going across the pond to London, England. Idel Zetterstorm, FIA Superbike champion, running a nitro car, and also the president and CEO of Atlanta Motorsports Park.
Yep.
Mr. Jeremy Porter next week. All right.
Yep.
And more with Johnny Spilotro about working up. So shall we bring on Mr. John?
Yes. Let's bring on the announcer.
Thanks for joining us for On Pit Road Racing. Follow us on our website, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at On Pit Road Racing. On Pit Road Racing is written and produced by WCOBN TV. I'm John the announcer for On Pit Road Racing.